I am Dracula. I bid you welcome.
It's alive!
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Google gobble, Google gobble.
We belong dead.
Have a potato.
Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad and the Universe. We're your hosts, Mark and Sam. Today we are talking about 1941's The Wolfman. Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Okay, so this one was Universal's second foray into the werewolf genre. The first one we kind of all watched a bit of, but we never really did a full thing on it, which is The Werewolf of London, because it was so boring. This was their second attempt. Yeah. But this was their second attempt, and this time they brought Lon Chaney into the fold as one of the Universal sort of monsters. What's your general impression of the film?
I think it was pretty good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I was not that much a fan of it, I've got to say. I liked it. While rewatching it, I just felt it was a little boring for me. However, I did like the mythos it kind of creates around it. That poem, you know, even a man who is pure at heart, that business, which gets repeated endlessly through the series. As we watch them, we'll see them. But this is its first instance, and the pentagram, also this mythos of the werewolf seeing the pentagram on its next victim somewhere.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is used after this film, but I could be wrong. Until we watch more, I won't be. I can't be sure. It's kind of an interesting idea. So there was some thinking about the mythology. It's set in Wales. Did you hear a Welsh accent?
No, not a single Welsh accent.
I think we were lucky to get British accents actually for some bit. There was a lot of Americans in the middle of Wales, which was a bit odd, especially. Lon Chaney, who was obviously American, but they gave the excuse that he'd been away for 15 years or something. But even so, that was kind of ridiculous. Also, the fact he looks nothing like his screenfather at all. Not even close, is he? Old Claude Rains, who was in The Invisible Man. Well, his voice was anyway. He was a little fella, and there's this massive hulking Lon Chaney. But you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not so much a fan of the look of the Wolfman. I think it looks kind of stupid in comparison to more modern werewolves, like the big sort of. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like an actual sort of wolf looking. You mean like in American Werewolf in London?
Yeah,
or, that's the sort of werewolf I'm thinking of. I think I prefer
something.
Yeah, like that. The more leaning towards animal than
human.
I
mean, this was obviously a man in a it was a man more than a wolf, but he wasn't quite as ridiculous as he was in the Werewolf of London, where he was like putting a scarf on and stuff like that. I kind of like the fact they used clear dog/wolf noises, though. It wasn't a man putting on a voice. It was definitely a wolf or dog of some sort. Sound effects, which is kind of cool. I like. The thing is, it's a little boring film, but this is another Universal iconic monster.
Yeah,
definitely. When you hear about werewolves, this tends to be the one you think of first.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you hear Dracula, Lugosi tends to be, Frankenstein tends to be the Karloff, monster. I thought the sound design was really good, actually. I liked the swirling fog and the whole setting. It was kind of a much more polished film than the Frankensteins and the Draculas we've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it was made in 1941. It's definitely a 40s film rather than a 30s film. You can kind of see the sheen and polish. It looked really nice on the Blu-ray, didn't it? Well, But I miss some of the nutty. The earlier films were kind of more nutty and sort of raw.
They could muck about a bit with what they were doing.
Yeah, this was forsook some of that sort of roughness to be more polished, but it got a little more boring because of it. However, I kind of liked it. There was some funny. I kind of liked. It was good to see Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
who was. We both
Bela.
commented his accent was really not as strong as we've seen in other films. It was almost like it was an someone who could talk English. Yes, let me rephrase it. Someone whose first language is English putting on an accent rather than what you usually get with Bela Lugosi. Kind of interesting.
Yeah,
He looked really good.
I was thinking that perhaps it's because sometimes you hear about people who got, like, moved from where they were, and when they've gone back, people have commented on their accent. I think that might be a similar sort of situation. Yeah, like I used to know a Scouse fella who, when he went back to Liverpool, people kept calling him posh. His accent was still most definitely Scouse.
They thought he sounded posh,
but they thought he sounded posh. So
I like Claude Rains in this. I actually. Lon Chaney for me is pretty good as Lawrence Talbot. He's not a great actor, but he does that sort of nervous big man angst. Yeah, and sort of nervousness quite well. He does it quite well. It works well. Now, it was my opinion, and it's only I've seen this film and sort of sequels lots of times, but I haven't seen it for a long. This is the first time I've seen it in a long time. The Wolfman looks slightly smaller and more agile than Chaney. It looks like someone else to me. Did you get that impression?
No, I thought it was him.
I mean, there were some nice touches. You pointed out one. The Wolfman was obviously walking on his toes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was a good touch. And I like the fact there's a lot of talk about werewolf before he becomes a werewolf. They just happen to be talking about it in the first part of the film. Did you notice that? They talking about, there's these legends and all this. And there's one point the woman...
It was definitely Chaney, though.
It was. Werewolf. I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, I've never read anything to contradict that. It just didn't... It seemed to me someone else. But
maybe he was wearing, like, I don't know, like something to make himself look smaller or slimmer, or... Maybe it was the clothing he was wearing or something.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, the movements of the Wolfman were pretty good. I liked Evelyn Ankers in it as Gwen. She was quite good. Yeah. She was obviously American, but there was a kind of slightly creepy bit where he basically admitted he'd been looking through her window with a telescope, and she didn't seem too phased, did she?
No, that was... weird. We even started making jokes about it like that. I started playing the Jaws theme.
Yeah, there was definitely a tiny bit of a stalker vibe because he was saying, have you got those earrings? Like he described the earrings to her. She said, no, we don't sell any like that. He says, well, you got some in your room on your dresser. It's like, whoa, too much information.
Yeah,
I like the old lady who was Bella's mother, the old gypsy lady.
She did not care.
She just
like, you killed my son. Cool.
Yeah, she was kind of grateful. But the thing is, she wouldn't clear off. She just hung around the district with a horse and cart, didn't she?
Just roll up whenever we needed some information about the werewolf curse.
Yeah. I also liked the woman who died, who was called Jenny Williams. Her mother was a real harridan.
Yeah.
And spoke her mind.
I like Jenny herself because she was just so like stupidly over the top, especially when paired with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah. Oh my God! Hey, what have you seen? All this kind of business.
He's like being all dramatic. He's like, you must leave. You will not make it home otherwise. And she just sort of like does this arms thrown up in the air scream. It's brilliant.
Yeah,
it's so funny to watch.
It was cool. There were some charms to this film. It just really wasn't as good as Frankenstein, definitely, and I still prefer Dracula, only because the first actor Dracula is really good.
Yeah.
But I did like. It is an iconic film. I have to give it that.
Yeah,
And
I'd say
kind of
this
enjoyed
so
it.
far. This is the weakest of the Universal.
The classics.
Yeah, the original, as in not one of the sequels. It's the
Yeah.
weakest of the Universal sort of monsters, but
I mean,
I still enjoyed it.
I still enjoyed it, and
I can kind of see why it was well liked.
I think the mythology, the poem and the whole mythology they kind of trying to build up kind of works in its favour too, to make it a standout and iconic film. And it's a poem that gets repeated. Apparently it was even used in Van Helsing. I don't remember it. The Hugh Jackman film.
Yeah.
It's even repeated within that. So that is a through line. I mean, isn't that film a Universal as well? I think it is.
I think it is.
I think it is too. That was kind of trying to redo the Universal monsters, which apparently they're planning soon. Which is
I
cool.
think that Dracula Untold was the supposed to be the big sort
Was
of
it?
stepping off for it.
I never saw that.
I've heard it was okay, but
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. We're going to do some Dracula, more dedicated Dracula through the years, I think. So we'll get to that at some point.
yeah, I've got it right here. They've got a reboot series which starts with Dracula Untold. We've got a Mummy film in 2016,
All right.
and then a Wolfman film and a Van Helsing film to be announced.
No Frankenstein.
Nah,
Ah,
I'm sure there will be. It's
Yeah.
just Frankenstein's a bit.
yeah.
He doesn't come across as scary as Wolfman or
It depends how it's done, I suppose.
yeah.
Another thing I spotted in this, I'm pretty sure that one of the characters in it, called Twiddle, who's like a plainclothes policeman, was one of the comedy policemen in The Invisible Man and Dracula's daughter. It looks like him and acted like him, so I could be wrong, but
He was
it just-
in Invisible Man, but not in Dracula's Daughter.
Okay, well, they were going for that same sort of vibe. Cheney's way better than Henry Hull, who was in Well for London as well.
Yeah.
Way better. I was kind of disappointed we didn't see a real decent transformation of Cheney in this film. I thought there was one, and there really wasn't much apart from the very end.
Yeah, but apparently it's more common in the sequels. But
Yeah. Well, we'll get to those. It looked. I think I've already said it looked great. The Blu-ray we got a Blu-ray set. It looked really crisp and nice in monochrome. Monochrome looks really lovely on some of these modern TVs. Really nice. Okay, I think I've said about enough there. Have you got anything else to pick up on it?
Nothing in particular to add, but yeah, it's a good film. Not go see it. Find it on DVD or Blu-ray.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it an 8.
I'd give it a 6.5. Yeah, so let's say a 7. On IMDb it's 7.4, which kind of reflects that. Yeah, it's solid. Looking forward to seeing more Wolfman in the sequels too.
Yeah.
He's in I think 4 other films. Cheney.
Wow.
And I think
How? Because he died at the end of this one.
Well, you'll see, won't you? You'll see. He is also. It's interesting that the Wolfman is the only Universal monster that's played by the same actor in all of its variants in the Universal sequels. Frankenstein monster was played by different people, and Dracula was played by different people. So that's an interesting thing that old Lon Chaney kept hold of it. It's interesting also in the titles, he wasn't called Lon Chaney Jr. in this, he was just Lon Chaney, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay then, so bye from me.
Bye.